Hi, everybody. We want to get live out to the Brad Casler sentencing. Let's listen in.
Said a lot, and I want to thank the court and the people in the court for letting me open my mouth. I tend to be an introvert at times, and this is difficult for me to talk, but it's time. I've wanted to speak over the last couple of years, 2.5 plus, but I've not really had the ability to do that. I know that my attorneys have spoken on my behalf. I've had a hard time making public appearances of that. So thank you very much. And my remorse and sorry for the families that have been impacted by this. I live with it every second of every day. I don't like going by that area in Newton. It makes me feel very uncomfortable because I know that there were people that were hurt, the community was hurt. I grew up in Newton. I volunteered in Newton. I was appointed by Teddy Mann many years ago, the late mayor, to the Crime Commission in Newton. So I have a great deal of love for the city. And I feel I've heard it. I was never told not to drive. I would never put any person in harm's way. If I was told not to drive, as 8 states have laws and guidelines to that, I would remove myself, as I have in the past when I felt that I shouldn't be driving and I should not go out of the house. I don't have any notes to talk about, so it's nothing, Your Honor, that I'm going to present to you. This is coming from my heart. I don't sleep very much. And I wake up when I do get some sleep. Since I've been in jail, good, bad, or indifferent, I've lost probably 7 to 9 pounds. Because it's just no joy in eating, which I used to like to do. I hope, depending on what the judge has to say at the end of this, I would like to take my time and try to make a difference. I know there are 8 states, as I mentioned before, that do have on their books procedures and license requirements for individuals with MS. And I'm surprised that Massachusetts does not have that on their books, because Massachusetts usually is a leading on this. And my goal would be to be aggressively looking to change the laws in the state through the legislature, as well as the medical community, in addition to the insurance community, to make a difference. I've told my children in the past, I have a motto I live by. Excuse me. Don't put off tomorrow what you can do today, because that to me is a cop-out. So what I'd like to do, given the opportunity at some point, is to take the bull by the horn and to really try to make a difference so there are other families that do not have to be here with this situation. I try to recall the accident, which I'm not all sure what happened. I know my injuries that I had, be it a broken left elbow and some other things, those are gone. My emotional scars will never leave. And my condolences once again to the families that were hurt, the deceased families as well. I think about this every second I'm breathing. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, you have been listening to Brad Casler speak before his sentencing, ahead of his sentencing there. We'll, of course, wrap all of this for you coming up on the WBZ News at 5 o'clock.